Guardians had a pretty good weekend. Pittsburgh was here in town. They took 2 or 3 against the Pirates. And they beat the Royals last night, which is good. They got swept by them, right, when the Royals were here, I think. So a little bit of revenge. 4-2 last night. Guardians, Royals tonight. Second of 3. That'll be a 7:40 start here on MMS. And you can listen on the iHeartRadio app now that we are underway with September. You're going to want to use the word Guardian for 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. What if you want to get off their shelves? You can use that however many times you want to. Think of it as the merch equivalent, one of Mary's naps. Let's say that you're doing some shopping in the morning and you go, I'm going to use Guardian, get myself 20% off. And then later on in the day, whereas Mary goes, I'm going to take another nap, you would go, I forgot to get something. I wanted that sweet, bomb-ass new MMS thing we got. I assume there's something.
That's exactly what I say.
Huh?
That's exactly what I say. I
know. You would use Guardian again for 20% off. So 7:40 tonight. Guardians Royals here on 100.7 WMMS. Everybody, of course, talking about the name change over at Browns Stadium. It is no longer going to be called Browns Stadium. It's going to be called Browns Bank Field. What? And I'm sorry? And everybody is, boy, they can't stop talking about how excited they are over there. I saw them putting up the signs this morning. I came into work down the Shoreway. I saw them putting up. Have you seen it, Bill? The big sign there, Browns Bank Stadium.
I did not see that.
Browns Bank Field is what it's called. I'm sorry. And, man, it looks good. Now, in order to do that, they had to take down all those posters of the players. Because actually, it's called Huntington Bank Field after Huntington Bank. And so I have to assume that that's a much longer logo, right? It's going to be that bright green. Isn't that Huntington Bank's logo? Yep. And they're going to have the bright green. I don't know if the sign is up yet. I don't know if they how quickly they do that. But everybody's talking about that for the next 20 years. And the thing that jumped out at me was they have the naming rights for that stadium or whatever other stadium might be built. They get to put their name on that.
That makes sense because there's, a stadium that's probably going to be built in the next few years.
Listen, they say, you never know what could happen. Huntington Bank, headquartered in Columbus, Ohio. I've never had any dealings with Huntington Bank, but they will, I don't know. I'm curious what they paid because that's a 20-year partnership. I mean, listen, you got to think of it. Over the course of 20 years, think about 2 decades, all right? Over that amount of time, we, the taxpayers, will probably be asked 4 or 5 times to kick in on some upgrades for the stadium. So that's like a fun way to think about it. You break it out in your own life. They also drop you. Do you scoop up the Browns Nike Zooms when those come out? No.
I got 2 years ago. Or not last year. I got them 2 years ago for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I loved them.
The Nike Zoom Pegasus 41.
That's
Cleveland.
Probably longer than that, though, right? Because you got it before Deshaun Watson was here.
Was he here 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Then it was the year,
yeah.
The year
probably,
before.
Probably 2020.
He came
yeah.
because I only got to wear them for 1 year.
Yeah.
Not that
and then
I
you
can't
burned
wear them
them.
now, but no, I still have them.
Oh, you don't wear them.
They're my only pair of shoes that have any orange in them, and I have one orange bodysuit that I like to wear, so I wear them when I wear that orange bodysuit.
Okay. Well, I didn't know how much of a. I know you're a sneakerhead, Bill. I didn't know if this was a once they do what do they call it? A sneaker drop?
Yeah.
It's when they drop a new sneaker. I didn't know if you grabbed them or not.
Not for.
Now, can I say anything to convince you? These shoes, as I'm looking at them.
I'm not a big fan of the Pegasus shoes.
I like them a lot.
These are the ones with the wings on the side.
They're very comfortable, but they're not. They don't look good, in my opinion.
Those are my everyday shoes. I've been wearing the Zoom Pegasus. They're what you hate, Alan. They're like the bouncy running shoes.
Don't care for that.
A ton of cushion and support.
Yeah,
great for what you do with all the walking that you do in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely something I would wear if I was walking that much. But as far as stylistically, they're not. They're kind of a dad shoe.
I don't mind the look of them, I guess. But, again, I don't like the super bouncy shoe. because I feel like I'm walking on springs. I feel like it messes with my gait. And you know how important my gait is to me.
Yes.
That's how I stabilize my core, Mary, is my gait.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm invariably always wearing either Chucks or my Palladium boots. Always.
What'd you wear for Green Day?
My Chucks. I have them on
Chucks.
right now.
All right.
Yep. And so the Nike Zoom Pegasus 41, the Cleveland Browns colors. Now, if you're on the fence, consider this. Improved engineered mesh. Did that do anything for you? A plush collared tongue. Now, listen. Some of you gals might met somebody like that in college. And a new React X foam that reduces the carbon footprint. Whatever the hell that means in this context. You might recall all the previous failures when they tried React A through W foam until they finally got it right. These are only $1.50, Mary. You should grab a pair.
No.
Oh, you don't want to support the current administration.
No more further money out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's fair enough. Well, anyway, over at Browns Bank Field, I don't know who's going to be wearing these shoes, but there it is. Huntington Bank Field. I like that name. I like field or park for a state. You know, if sports are being played there.
Park feels like baseball, though.
It probably is.
But that's usually what they'll do for baseball.
Yeah.
For a football field, it's usually
but either way,
stadium or field. Yeah.
I mean, there's some places where the teams
that,
are playing in,
the field house.
Field house. Oh, the Rocket Mortgage Field House. I forget what the actual name is because I just call it Romo Fijo.
So what are you gonna shorten? I mean, you were the one that came up with Romo Fijo, and it is unanimously loved.
The Huntington Bank Field. This is Hubaffy. I don't like it as much as Romo Fijo, but if you're asking me, the Browns take the field tonight at the Hubaffy Dallas Cowboys hotel for the season opener. And Huntington. Well, let's rework that. Hunbaffy.
Hunbaffy.
Hunbanfi. Now that's all. I don't know. You know what?
Stank.
I already did the work on Romo Fijo. I'll let somebody else take the mantle on Huntington Bank Field. If you are a Florida,
you think they're just going to call it the bank? We're going to the bank.
I don't know what they're going to call it. It's
the
not
vault.
Huh?
There's a vault in the bank. That was a stretch.
The vault. Yeah, I don't know what they'll call it. They probably won't short. I mean, they haven't shortened Romo. I shortened Romo Fijo. They still call it the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
That's right. So of course, because professionally
understood.
They will always want the whole name.
Yes,
but locally, you make up a nickname.
There you go. Yeah,
so
that we had the Q.
Yeah.
Now we have Romo Fijo, Huntington Bank Field. I will. I'm sure somebody. One of those influencers you ran into at your big elite party on Saturday. I'm sure one of them will have a fantastic. Again, there's only so much you can do if you're going to shorten the words. There are 3 of them. But somebody might come up with something else.
Just the old dirty hunt.
Oh, geez. Dirty? Why does it have to be dirty? I don't care for that. I'll come right on and tell you.
Smelly?
I don't care for that. Don't care for that. I was reading about a dude who, so Florida State, if you are a Florida State fan, they were expected to just roll over Boston College. This was expected to be a super easy win for them after they got rolled by like Georgia Tech or somebody like that, but they lost against BC. So Florida State becomes the first team in college football history to lose 2 games before week 1 is even completed, because they had what was considered kind of a gimme game against Boston College, and they are now 0-2 after they lost 28-13 to Boston College. And there was a dude who was so sure that they were going to win that he said, I will eat poop. If these guys lose, I will. He posted a tweet. He's like something like, I will eat dog poop out of a cup if these get, take it to the bank. And so people go to this guy's account and they're like, hey, let us know when you post the video. Well, he's deactivated his social media accounts. And this is why it just put some money on the team. Just go on one of the gambling apps. Put your money where your mouth is. You don't have to eat poop. There's no reason to put that in there. Everybody goes for the extreme. You don't have to do that. But people expected him to follow through.
Yeah, you ate that poop now, dude. Say you're gonna eat poop. Be a man of your word.
With all due respect to the residents of Wales, you don't want to Welsh on a bet. So Florida State lost twice in 1 week. Of course, Chicago White Sox were seen laughing at that, going, hey, we have lost multiple times in 1 week, all right? All we do is lose.
Did they really only have 98 people at a doubleheader?
Yes, they did.
That's
oh,
insane.
my God.
Doubleheader, they had 98 people total. All I do is win, win, win. Yeah, all they do is lose. My Chicago White Sox, yes, they are not in good shape. They have 108 losses and 31 wins. They are historically bad. Mm-hmm. And by the way, people keep sending me memes and posts of the White Sox, and I'm like, you're wasting your time, and your time is valuable, much like mine is, and I don't want anybody wasting their time because, A, this is not new information. B, that's a grade Z troll because they are terrible. There is nobody who's going to argue, yeah, but when it comes to the White Sox. So the people who send me these all the time, because I'm a very outspoken White Sox fan, and I remain so. But people will send me like these memes and these posts, and I'm like, yeah, we all know what's happening here. We all know. You are making a 0% dent in my ability to enjoy that team.
Oh, man, Alan, this is a rat, Big Mouse here. When I got up to the boat, there was...
Oh, yeah, Rat called. Still about the boat. He called us live last week.
Yeah.
In the immediate afterglow of everybody having fun on Captain Fun's floating Fandango. Rat, we all met Rat.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the boat.
Oh, man, Alan, this is a rat, Big Mouse here. When I got up to the boat, there was about 300 people in line, all right? Then I had to go through 3 security officers. They looked in my fanny pack, and I had a juice box, beef jerky, wet wipes, a knife.
Okay, wait a second.
Oh,
Oh, Rat. I didn't notice he had a fanny pack on him, but I like this checklist he's got of things in his fanny pack. And I have to wonder if this is standard issue or if he loaded it specifically for the boat, for our cruise, anticipating what he might need, or if this is just something that he walks around
Yeah,
with.
this is just, he always has this kind of stuff.
Yeah, this
with
is
him.
like his tiny little waist-high bug-out bag.
Mm-hmm.
Beef jerky, wet wipes, a knife that is made out of ivory, 3 4-packs of gummies, 4 disposable vapor pens, marijuana that is, and man, yeah, there was so much I forgot to tell you, man. I didn't look up Mary's skirt.
Oh.
I liked your banana shirt. Over now. Banana shirt.
So he didn't look up your skirt. We had
What a
accused him
nice
of maybe.
guy.
Yeah. He wanted to let me know. He forgot a lot of other things, but he wanted to let me know he didn't look up your skirt or take a photo of it.
Very kind.
I forgot to tell you, man. I didn't look up Mary's skirt.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. So I was going to say that you can sleep the sleep of angels knowing that Rat didn't do that, Mary, but seems you have no problem sleeping.
Yeah.
And so that's
I like to
good.
sleep. I like
Hopefully
to sleep.
Rat isn't out there getting bombarded by 5G or anything like that. They say conclusively, by the way, for people who are concerned, and a lot of people are, some people seriously, other people just because they're bored and into conspiracy theories, but they did some 30-year study, observational studies over the course of 30 years, which would encompass the rise of cellular phone technology. And they examined about 5,000 different studies over the course of those 30 years, and they came to the conclusion that there is no evidence that links cell phone use and cancer. And, of course, the more skeptical among us will go, well,
Who did that?
who did the, yeah, well,
Yeah,
it
who did
wasn't
the
like a,
research?
yeah, it wasn't a cell phone company, but I mean, But even if let's say they came out, even if there was a chance, it wouldn't change anyone's behavior, right? We're sunk. Like if they go, well, yeah, you're holding a cell phone up to your head as frequently as a lot of people do it. Of course, maybe that's gone down because fewer and fewer people probably talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Talk to people on the phone. And, people use earbuds or things like that. But, like, imagine if they said, hey, Instagram might cause cancer. Do you really think there'd be a marked decline in people using it? No.
No.
They'd flip a coin, just like they do now, with things that are shown to cause cancer. Hey, there's carcinogens in this, whether it's food or drink or, substance you might, imbibe. People flip a coin. They go, eh. So something as pervasive as cell phones, even if they were to come out and say, because they, irrespective of who does this study, they can't come out and go, yeah, listen, cell phones, every tech company on the planet would be flipping their shrimp, and it really wouldn't change people's behaviors. So they're like, well, we think people should be reassured by this. These obviously aren't perfect studies. There's a standard deviation here, as there is in any kind of study of this nature. But mobile phones should be considered safe to use. You remember Michael McKean's character in Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
He was Bob Odenkirk's brother in that show, and he was convinced that he had some electromagnetic sensitivity, and so he would have the windows drawn, and he always had like foil blankets over his head, and he couldn't have any power on in his house. He was this very prominent lawyer, but he believed, and of course everyone around him said that it was all in his head, that it was psychosomatic. But there are some people who swear by that. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, that people have an electromagnetic allergy. It makes sense. I mean, our bodies are just chemicals and electricity and neurons firing and things like that, so it seems to make some kind of sense. But, again, even if they had come out and said, yeah, cell phones, boy, we did a 30-year study, and
sorry,
you might end up with a giant, giant tumor on the side of your head. People go, nah,
I'll get it removed.
Yeah, I'll do that. Still got to call Nana every couple days. I got Pop Evil tickets for you. Want to go see Pop Evil? They are co-headlining with Bad Wolves on the Animal Instinct Tour. They'll play Temple Live over at the Masonic. That is November the 12th. And I'll get you a couple of tickets coming back. Later on, another chance to go to Vegas, $1,000. And tickets, airfare, the whole bit for our iHeartRadio Music Festival. That keyword later around 5:30.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
We got stuff. You want stuff. Win stuff. This week at WMMS.com. WMMS